What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be carrying on my 0 to 1 million 5-year plan to get to €1 million net worth. Now we can see on screen we have 7 investment vehicles to get there in that 5-year period. Now today we're going to be continually focusing on my number 3 dividend stock portfolio. Now obviously I have capital in the other 6 as well, but because we haven't made videos yet on those, we're going to leave them at 0. Now we can see the highlighted one here, number 3, my dividend portfolio. We currently have about €400 in here overall, which gives us a very unrealistic tracker target of 0.04% towards the overall goal. So today we are going to continually invest into this dividend portfolio. Now overall I want to have 50 stocks, which we'll discuss later on in the video, but today we're going to be adding 10 brand new dividend stocks across 10 different sectors. So with all that being said, let's get straight on into today's video. So first of all, here we can see on screen on the left there's 11 sectors overall in the market, and my target per each of these sectors in terms of how many companies I want to each. Most of these have either 4, in fact all of them either have 4 or 5 stocks in each, which again will accumulate up to the 50. Now before this morning we had 18 overall invested at the moment, which still left room for 32 new stocks. So by investing in 10 today will bring us up to 28 and then give us 22 left to invest in. Now also, as stated in prior videos, I do want to have this 50 stock portfolio up and running in terms of having investments in all 50. Now, as stated also in prior videos, we're only going to put tiny amounts of capital into each of these 50 stocks, again just to get the groundwork and have a solid foundation to build on as we go into 2022. And I also want to kick off my growth portfolio as well. Now again, that's for a different video, but I do want to have 10 quality growth stocks in that portfolio. So that's for another video down the line. But again, today we added 10 new stocks, which we're going to go through now. So here we are on Trading212, where we can see we have about €415 at this moment in time, which again is a long way away from where I actually want to get to, but we have to start somewhere. We can see that we have €118 of this in free funds, 196 of it is currently invested, and we have €100 currently waiting for the markets to open for those orders to go through. Now again, as stated earlier, I only want to start off with tiny amounts of capital in each of these 50 stocks just to get the groundwork working, and kind of carry on then in 2022. So that's why we're only putting €10 into each of these 10 stocks today, and that's one of the benefits of Trading212, that you can buy fractional shares. Now we can see currently on the left here, we're down about 1.85% at this moment in time, and that's mainly due to the overall market downtrend, which is actually a good thing in terms of starting a portfolio, because you can really start the dollar cost average down as the markets go down to get your overall average cost as little as possible. So as we have 10 stocks to get through today, we're only going to go through these very briefly in today's video. And the first of these is my first investment in communication services, where I want to have 4 stocks overall. And this is Verizon, ticker symbol VZ, currently trading at about $51.42 per share. And it also has a fairly impressive dividend yield of 4.98%. Now, as mentioned in prior videos, I want to have about an average overall dividend yield of about 3% between the 50 stocks. So again, this will certainly start bumping up my average. Now, it currently has a fairly impressive 17 years of increased dividend payments, and it pays quarterly. The second stock will be in consumer discretionary, which will go in with McDonald's at this moment in time. Now I want to have 5 overall in this sector, so this will bump it up to 2, and that is Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX, currently trading about $111 a share. Now it has a small enough dividend overall in comparison to some of my others, but again, it's a solid stock nonetheless. Currently has a dividend of 1.76%, and you can see down here as well that it has paid an increased dividend over the last 11 years, and like the majority of today's stocks, it's paying quarterly. Next up, we go to consumer staples, and this will be the 4th stock in this investment portfolio so far in consumer staples, going in with PepsiCo, Coca-Cola and P&G, and that will be Walmart, ticker symbol WMT. Now again, just like Starbucks, it has a fairly small dividend yield, but again, that's one of the main reasons why I want to have 50 stocks overall, because I do want to have a lot of variety in terms of dividend yields, different sectors, etc. Now again, as promised, I will make a video down the line of why I want to have 50 overall, because some people might think that's too much, some might even think it's too little, but there's no real perfect number when it comes to dividend portfolio. But again, I'll make a video down the line of why I want 50 stocks. But again, for this moment in time, we can see Walmart has a dividend yield of 1.6%, and we can see also it's very respectable here in terms of being one of the dividend aristocrats, and it's paid an increased dividend yield for the last 47 years. And again, just like the others we mentioned already, is paying on a quarterly basis. Next up, we go to one of my favorite sectors, and that's the financials. And here we're going to be adding Citigroup as the 4th of the 5 stocks that I want in this portfolio in financials. The other three we already have, if you haven't seen the prior videos, is JP Morgan and Chase, Bank of America and Goldman Sachs. So this will be the fourth. Now this currently has a ticker symbol of C and trades a fairly respectable dividend yield for a blue chip financial stock of 3.25%, and it pays on a quarterly basis. Now again, there's been people in the comment section below, and again I appreciate all the input, that they've said to look into some of the Canadian financial stocks. So that's what I have done as well, and that will probably be the fifth and final stock I will be adding into this portfolio. It's currently at the moment looking at Bank of Montreal or Royal Bank of Canada as well, is the two I'm currently looking at. So again, I'd love your input below on what financial stocks you currently hold and why. Another stock that was recommended by you guys as well, so thanks very much for the input here. And again, after doing some research, I decided that I did want to add this to my healthcare sector as the fourth of the 5 stocks. Now the other 3 we currently have, if you haven't seen prior videos, is Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer and AbbVie. So the fourth stock here I'm adding is Cardinal Health, ticker symbol CAH, which currently pays a fairly impressive dividend of 4.18% for a blue chip health stock. Now one thing I was surprised with after doing some research here is that it has 34 years of increased dividend payments, something that I was definitely not aware of, and again, just like the others, it pays on a quarterly basis. We now move to the industrial sector, where I want to have 4 stocks overall. We currently have 2 in the form of 3M and Caterpillar, and the third we're adding today is the first ever stock I invested in back at the start of last year in the form of Waste Management, ticker symbol WM. Currently has a small enough dividend yield of about 1.41%, which equates about $2.30 per year, which is paid on a quarterly basis. Now it has increased its dividend yield over the last 18 years, which is fairly respectable, and I do hope, because the company is doing very well, that this dividend will increase as well over time. One sector I have to admit that I'm finding it quite hard to find quality stocks in is utilities. Now I have found one so far in the form of Air Products and Chemicals, which again is one of the dividend aristocrats, 39 years of increased dividend payments, ticker symbol APD, which again pays a fairly modest 2.08% dividend. Now along with this sector as well, in energy we have Chevron and ExxonMobil, 2 quality energy stocks. But again, past those 2, I'm finding it quite difficult to find additional stocks to add there. That's why I haven't invested anything further at the moment in the energy sector, where we only have 2. And this is my first utility stock as well. And again, beyond Air Products and Chemicals, I'm finding it quite difficult to find stocks that I actually want to add here. But again, I do want to have a diverse overall portfolio, and I probably won't be putting a whole lot of the capital into the likes of this sector, but I want to have it nonetheless. So again, in the comment section below, it'd be much appreciated if you'd recommend some stocks and your reason behind them as well. Another sector that I'm quite interested in and quite bullish on will be real estate. Now this will be the 5th and final stock I'm adding in this sector within my 50 stock portfolio, and that's National Realty Properties, ticker symbol NNN. Has a fairly impressive yield of 4.83%, which is paid on a quarterly basis. Now we've seen in prior videos that some of my real estate stocks actually pay on a monthly basis, such as Realty Income, but again, it doesn't really make a difference. It's not like you get more money that way, it just means it gets divided out even more. So again, what I'm quite happy with here as well is that it has a very impressive increased dividend yield for a real estate company of 32 years. Now another sector I'm very interested in is technology, but again I'll be really focusing on that in my growth portfolio. But in terms of dividend paying quality tech stocks, it's quite hard to find a lot of them. Now we currently have one at the moment in terms of IBM, which I'm happy with, and I finally found a second one which I'm happy with also in the form of Cisco Systems, ticker symbol CSCO, which pays a dividend of 2.63%, which is definitely above the average in this tech pie, because literally most tech stocks don't pay dividends because they're increased. They need to continually improve their products, which again, they can't pay a dividend. Apple is certainly a tech stock that I'm very interested in, although it pays a very small dividend, but we probably have that in my growth portfolio down the line. Again, that's for a different video, but Cisco Systems currently has an increased dividend over the last 11 years and it pays on a quarterly basis. And the 10th and final stock we're adding today is in a brand new sector as well, in the form of utilities. Again, like some of the others such as materials and energy, I'm finding it quite difficult to find some quality stocks here, but I do want to invest nonetheless, and that's why I only have one at the moment, and that is American Waterworks, ticker symbol AWK, pays a fairly small dividend yield of 1.4%. But again, we can see the average here in this pie or this sector is 3.75%, so it definitely is below the average. But I do want to find quality companies. I don't want to really just chase a high dividend, because that doesn't necessarily mean a good performing stock. So that's why I want to have this in my overall pie. Now it has paid an increased dividend over the last 12 years and it pays on a quarterly basis. So there we have it. That's just the 10 stocks that I want to invest in today, which you can see on screen across 10 different sectors, and we can see their ticker as well here in column E. Now, over the next few days, I do plan on investing a further €100 in 10 new companies as well, which will bring us up to 38 companies overall, which will leave 12 left before the end of the year. So I'll probably make that video maybe Wednesday or Thursday of this week, so be sure to tune in for that as well. And again, before the end of this month, I do want to kick off my growth portfolio as mentioned earlier, which we'll start making videos on as well. So thanks very much if you made it this far. I hope you have a good week, and I will see you all in the next video.